What's up, guys? It's Hero, bringing you guys a deck profile. This one's going to be on my Post-Judgment of the Light Infernities. This is the build that I've kind of finalized. I've kind of been messing around with a lot of ratios. I'll be explaining that as I go through the cards. With the three new cards that are coming out in Judgment of the Light, we've got ARCHFIEND, we've got Transmodify, and we've got ARCHFIEND PALABYRINTH. These three cards are really going to give this deck a boost in terms of speed and consistency. So it's really, really great to see some of the new support helping out older archetypes from Konami. So that's a good change. Right now, I don't plan on playing this deck in this format. Currently with Dragons and Prophecy at full force. The side deck is for this format though, just in case someone wants to test it out. The side deck should also, be taken with a grain of salt because I didn't really put too much thought into it. Since I'm going to be making this deck, I'm focusing on next format. Once hopefully Prophecy and Dragons get hit, this format slows down, and hopefully this deck will be able to do a whole lot more than it can right now with 3 Maxis and 3 Effect Veilers in every single deck. So let's go through the card choices, and so we got 3 Infernity ARCHFIEND. This guy's the heart of the deck. Basically, with him, you search out everything: Barrier, Necromancer, Launcher, and Break. So it allows you to do a lot of neat stuff and allows you to really stun your opponent. So you want to run 3 because you want to be cycling them out as much as you can, and 3 helps out with that. 3 Necromancers. If ARCHFIEND is the heart of the deck, Necromancer is the brain of the deck. Really, he gets you your ARCHFIENDs. He gets you. He gets you your ARCHFIENDs. He gets you, if you don't have any cards in your hand, if you have an ARCHFIEND in your graveyard, bring it back for an easy +2 as you get off the search with ARCHFIEND. So, Necromancer, and then you can cycle it out. You can use a used up Necromancer because you can only activate its effect once per turn with a Transmodify or with a Palabyrinth, but I'll be explaining that later on. Next we have a 2 Street Patrol. Street Patrol gets the ball rolling, allows you to get rid of special summon ARCHFIEND and Necromancers that you may have in your hand, and in order to be able to get their effects off once you've set everything and you've already normal summoned, say if you have too many monsters, and get these guys in the graveyard as soon as possible. That's what the Foolish Spiral is there. That's why for the Armageddon Knight is there for as well. When this card is summoned, you can send 1 dark monster from your deck to the graveyard, and so is Dark Grepher. You can ditch a dark monster to send a dark monster from your deck to the graveyard. These cards basically allow you to. Those 4 cards allow you to get rid of the monsters in your hand, the quality monsters in your hand, so you can get the ball rolling, so you can get your combos off, and you can start searching out your barriers and breaks. And so to Summoner Monk, these guys are also helpful in getting things going. Just bring out an Armageddon Knight, bring out Dark Grepher, bring out an ARCHFIEND if you don't have any other cards in your hand, if you just set everything. Except obviously the spell you're going to ditch for Summoner Monk, and then bring out ARCHFIEND, and you can start to search right away. So that's pretty good. ARCHFIEND Heiress, just a one-of. She searches out, when she's sent to the graveyard by a card effect or by being destroyed by battle, you can search an ARCHFIEND card from your deck and add it to your hand. So you can search out Palabyrinth, you can search out ARCHFIEND, Infernity ARCHFIEND. Basically, those are your 2 targets. Most of the time, you want to be searching out Palabyrinth, so you're able to use its effect in order to cycle out for new ARCHFIENDs and get more searches off. But sometimes you can use its effect to search for ARCHFIEND if you need it, in order to start making plays. So that's what ARCHFIEND Heiress is there for, and she's a rare in Judgment of the Light. 3 Upstart Goblins, once again, consistency, gotta get to your cards. 2 Transmodify, send 1 face-up monster you control to the graveyard, and special summon 1 monster from your deck with the same type and attribute as the sent monster, but 1 level higher. You can only use 1 per turn. So, if you have a Necromancer or an Heiress, and you have no cards in your hand, you activate Transmodify, you send Necromancer or Heiress to the graveyard. This will not activate Heiress's effect because it's a cost. Unfortunately, it's not by a card effect. And you can special summon an ARCHFIEND from your deck, Infernity ARCHFIEND from your deck, and then you can get the search off. So once you've used up Necromancer, let's say you summon Necromancer, you use its effect, you special summon ARCHFIEND. ARCHFIEND's effect goes off, you search a barrier, you set it, and then you activate Transmodify, and then you're able to send the Necromancer that you just used up to the graveyard in order to special summon another Infernity ARCHFIEND, and you'll be able to search another barrier or another break. This also sets up the graveyard as well for Infernity Launcher, because you can search for Launcher then, and if you have now that you have 2 ARCHFIENDs out, even theoretically, in a vacuum, you can just Xyz, make a chain or something, detach 1, and then you have a Necromancer and an ARCHFIEND in your graveyard for Infernity Launcher's use. So, there's a lot of plays that you can make with this card now. 2 Instant Fusion, basically just to make Levier or Lava Chain as quick as possible. If the need arises. These guys just help you make your plays. Making Lava Chain is a solid first step in getting your stuff and getting your plays level chain, send patrol to the graveyard, special summon the Archfiend or Necromancer in your hand, whatever. The plays are endless. So 2 instant fusion, 2 chalice. Chalice I'm a little iffy on right now. I'm not sure if these will stay after the ban list. Obviously, it depends on the the top decks that will merge out. Probably water. Chalice is just effect negation, and its increase of 400 attack has come into use sometimes in helping OTK or getting over big monsters, because big monsters are one of this deck's weakness. Other than Break and Diamond Dire Wolf, we don't have a lot of outs for big monsters, especially if they're just large beat sticks. So, but if you can, if you get combos off and you can just set up your breaks, then you really should have no issue. But yeah, Chalice has been testing pretty decently. It's earned its spot, I think. I don't know if that will stay the same once the next ban list hits. Next we have 2-pot duality. Just once again consistency. I was running 3 transfer and 3 instant fusion, but I kept opening with multiples, and that was just that's not good. You can only use 1 per turn of both, so duality is there instead. Kind of fix up bad hands. I don't like opening with it, but getting once you've done your combos and you've set some control of the game with your barriers and breaks, it's good to duality into, let's say, another break, another barrier, or any other trap really. Compulse is great too, storm, or anything. So duality is pretty solid once you've combo it off. Next we have Archfiend Palabyrinth. Now this card, I love this card. This is one of the best field spells, I think, in all of Yu-Gi-Oh. Other than Spellbook of Tower of Spellbooks or Grand Tower of Spellfags or whatever. Okay, but this card's nuts. Okay, all fiend type monsters you control gain 500 attack. So that makes your Infernity Archfiends already 2300 attack, which is pretty beefy. Next, you can target 1 Archfiend monster you control. So you target Infernity Archfiend. Let's make the field Necromancer and Infernity Archfiend. And this card, Palabyrinth. So you can target 1 Archfiend monster you control. So I'm going to target Infernity Archfiend. Banish 1 fiend type monster you control, except that monster. So I'm going to banish Necromancer. And if you do, special summon 1 Archfiend monster from your deck, hand, or graveyard with the same level as that monster. As that monster being the monster that you targeted before. So Archfiend. So you're going to banish Necromancer to special summon another Archfiend from your hand, deck, or graveyard. And if you have no cards in your hand, then you get to search again. You get to search for your barrier, you get to search for your break. That's nuts. It doesn't have to be a Necromancer. It could be any other fiend type, as long as you have Archfiend out, Infernity Archfiend out as the other fiend type. So this card just allows you to cycle our Infernity Archfiends like no other. Like you can even banish another Archfiend for another Archfiend to special summon another Archfiend, and then you make Leviair, and then bring the other Archfiend back, and then you get to search again. So this card's actually nuts, and you can only use the effect once per turn. Obviously, it'd be busted if you could do it multiple times per turn. So this card is actually so good, but once again, I only run 1 simply because I can search it out with Trick and Archfiend Ares. So you only need to run 1. Monster Reborn, Heavy Storm, Rhoda to get Armageddon Knight and Grepher, Foolish Burial, and Infernity Launcher, the one that we can run. Traps, 3 Barrier, 3 Compulse, 2 Break. I only run 2 Break because 3 is because you need to have an Infernity card in your graveyard, and if I'd rather, it's just 2. Just 2 is fine. Like, I don't want to open with all of the traps that I can search for, that the deck revolves around searching for. So I'd rather just, I cut the break to 2, and throw in a 3rd Compulse, simply because Compulse is pretty decent in this format. It's a 1 card out to like all Synchros and Ixies, nearly all Synchros and Ixies, except Thought Ruler, etc. So, but then again, for those cards, there's always Compulse, and then you can bury their effect. And then Call of the Haunted. Call of the Haunted, it's okay. I had 3, I cut it to 2. It brings back Armageddon Knight to use its effect. It brings back Necromancer, and then you can bring back an Archfiend. It brings back Archfiend directly. If they MST it, you can bring back Eris, and then you can get the effect off again. So yeah, it's pretty good. For what it's worth and for what it does, it feels it does its job pretty well. Next, the extra deck. We're gonna go with 1 Zenmains. Just another rank 3 there. I make it from time to time when I end up with 2 level 3s. Might be cut out for something else, I don't know. 2 Leviair. There's a combo for Shockmaster that requires 2 Leviair, and I do use 2 Leviair from time to time in duel, so I think 2 Leviair is pretty solid. 2 Levolval Chain, you definitely need 2. I think 3 is too many. and one is just not enough. You definitely need the 2-chain. Cowboy, Abyss Dweller, Mace Choke, 2 Wolf. Wolf is part of your combos. You're gonna destroy their cards. Sometimes I destroy their cards. Sometimes I even destroy my own Levier if I have the launcher, and then bring back double Necromancer into ARCHFIEND, and then into Levier, and bring back Patrol, etc. So, Dire with Diamond Wolf is pretty solid in this deck. Black Ship of Corn. Master Key Beetle. Master Key Beetle is another really good card. It's an Eradicator target. It's 2500 attack, and it's dark, and it requires 2 level 4 dark monsters, which is, you know, all of the monsters in your deck are dark, so that's not an issue. And then it basically protects a card. Once per turn, you can detach one existing material from this card, target one other card you control. When this card is face up on the field, that card cannot be destroyed by card effects. So most of the time, when I make Master Key Beetle, I target Palabyrinth because, you know, I only run 1, so it can't be MST'd. You know, it can't be stormed, so it protects it. And you know, because it's extremely useful. And if this face-up card would be destroyed while you control one of those cards, you can send one of those to the graveyard instead. So it's all good. Shockmaster, because you can make Shockmaster in this deck. Flame Ghost and Darkfire Dragon as my instant fusion targets. So level 3 and 4. Lastly, the side deck. The side deck is, you know, once again, take it as a grain of salt. I did not put too much thought into the side deck. I just kind of threw shit together. The one card that I'm really looking forward to is to be able to use in real life is this card. Barrier Statue of the Abyss. No monsters can be special summoned except for dark monsters. So that's nuts because it's a fiend and it's a level 4. So what does that mean? It can be summoned through Transmodify. You can Transmodify Eris, you can Transmodify Necromancer, and then bring this guy out, and then just sit on this. 2 to 3 barriers, 1 to 2 breaks. Go. That's like better than Jowgen Fate. That's just nuts. It's just nuts. It's a little low on the stats. It's 1,000, 1,000. But, you know, it'd be 1,500 with Palabyrinth out, which is pretty beefy. So, I mean, this card, I love it. I love it to use with Transmodify and then just sit behind 2 to 3 breaks. I love it. I love it. Triple MST, because you don't want to auto-lose to, you know, macro and shit. Defissure hurts his deck. Dust Tornado, same reasoning. 2 Deck Devastation to hit their hand traps. I don't know, it depends on the deck you're playing against. Eradicator for spellbooks mostly. You can side it in against other things. Mind Drain for dragons and stopping their hand traps. Effects of monsters in the hand cannot be activated. So against dragons, if you get this first turn and they don't have the MST, they're pretty boned. They can't use a baby dragon effect. They can't use hand traps. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. There's really nothing they can do until they like drop the max. They can't Blaster it because Blaster activates in the hand. So it's pretty solid card. Actually, I'm not quite sure why. The only reason why more people don't main it is because they want to be able to use their own hand traps. They prefer to use their own hand traps instead of using this card. But as you can see, I have no hand traps in my deck or even my side deck. The only card that would conflict with this would be Infernity ARCHFIEND, but that's only if I top it, if I top deck it. But if I'm top decking an ARCHFIEND while this card is out, then I'm probably already winning. Unless I'm a complete sack. I mean, like if I placed it with a level chain at the top of my deck. But then again, if I did that, then I wouldn't be able to use, I wouldn't be using that. So, then Imperial Iron Wall, standard against dragons. Yeah, that's the deck profile, guys. A lot of people were asking for the deck, so this is what I have put together. This is what it's looking at right now. If you guys have your own builds, I love to check them out. I love to see new ideas. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. This was HerO. And I'll see you guys next time.